You are surrounded by people right now. Or you were, recently. A party, a packed train, a busy office, a city street with thousands of bodies moving past yours. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, you felt it. That hollow, quiet ache. Not sadness exactly. More like a signal. Like something inside you was trying to tell you that something was wrong. Even though, by any rational measure, you were not alone. That feeling has a name. And the name is not what you think it is. Most people assume loneliness is about being physically isolated. No one around, no one to call, an empty apartment on a Friday night. But researchers who have spent decades studying this sensation know that the physical picture is almost completely irrelevant. You can be surrounded by 1,000 people and feel it just as sharply as if you were stranded on an island. In fact, sometimes more sharply. John Cacioppo, a neuroscientist at the University of Chicago, spent much of his career trying to understand why loneliness exists at all. Not just what causes it, why your brain evolved to produce it, what purpose it was ever supposed to serve. And what he found completely reframes what you think you know about yourself. Loneliness is not a failure. It is not a flaw. It is not something that happens to socially awkward people, or people with less charisma, or people who made the wrong choices. Loneliness is a biological alarm system. It is as ancient as hunger. And it was designed specifically to keep you alive. Go back 100,000 years. Your ancestors did not survive alone. A single human without a group was a dead human. No fire, no shared hunting, no protection from predators at night, no one to hold the infant while the mother slept. The group was survival. Full stop. And so your brain evolved a mechanism to detect when your place inside that group was at risk. When you felt disconnected from the people around you, even while physically near them, your nervous system sounded an alarm. Not with sound, with pain. A specific kind of pain that felt social, not physical. A signal that said, your bonds are weakening. Your position is not secure. Do something. Fix this. Now. That pain is what you call loneliness. Cacioppo and his colleagues confirmed this in a series of studies that tracked lonely individuals across years, measuring not just their mood, but their biology. What they found was alarming. Lonely people showed elevated cortisol levels, the hormone your body releases under threat. Their immune systems were suppressed. Their sleep was disrupted at a cellular level even when they technically slept enough hours. Their brains were scanning the environment differently, detecting social threats faster and with greater sensitivity. Loneliness was not a passive feeling. It was an active state of alert. And here is the part that makes the modern version of this problem so strange. Your brain is running the same alarm system today that it ran 100,000 years ago. But the environment has changed completely around it, and the system cannot tell the difference. Think about what happens when you walk into a crowded room full of strangers. You are physically surrounded. By every ancient metric, you should feel safe. The group is here, you are not alone, but your nervous system is not measuring head count. It is measuring something else entirely. It is measuring meaningful connection. It is asking, do these people know me? Do I matter to them? Would they notice if I disappeared? And in a room full of strangers, the answer is no. So the alarm sounds. This is what social psychologist Julianne Holt-Lunstad calls the difference between social quantity and social quality. She has published extensive research showing that the number of people in your life predicts almost nothing about your loneliness. What predicts it is the felt sense of being known, valued, and mutually invested in by at least some of those people. You can have 500 connections and feel completely invisible. You can have 3 close friends and feel entirely held. The crowd makes it worse for a specific neurological reason. When you are alone in your apartment, your brain knows you are alone. The expectation is set. But when you are in a crowd, your brain expects connection. It is surrounded by the raw ingredients. And when that connection does not arrive, the contrast is sharper. The gap between what your nervous system expected and what it received is wider. The pain of the mismatch registers more intensely. This is why parties are sometimes the loneliest places on earth. There is another layer underneath this that researchers have only recently started to map. When Cacioppo's team scanned the brains of lonely individuals using neuroimaging, they found something unexpected in the data. Lonely brains showed heightened activity in regions associated with vigilance and threat detection, specifically the amygdala and the ventral striatum. But they also showed reduced activity in regions associated with reward from social contact. Loneliness was not just making people feel unsafe. It was gradually making social connection feel less rewarding. This creates a cruel feedback loop. You feel disconnected. Your brain enters threat mode. In threat mode, you become more guarded and less able to send or receive the signals that build connection. Connection becomes harder. The alarm gets louder. You withdraw even more. The British psychologist John Bowlby called the foundation of this system attachment theory. He spent decades documenting how human beings are wired from birth not just to be near others, but to feel emotionally attuned to them. To feel seen. To know that another mind is genuinely tracking theirs. When that attunement is missing, the nervous system treats disconnection as danger. And you are still running that system today. Think about what a modern life looks like. The platforms that promise connection often reward visibility instead. Broadcasting, not attunement. Posting, not knowing. You can have thousands of followers and still lack a single person who truly understands your life. For most of human history, you lived among a small group of people who knew your face, your history, and your place in the group. Your presence was noticed. Your absence was felt. Today you move through cities of millions, shifting between work, transit, neighborhoods, and online spaces where most people do not know your name. The feeling your brain evolved to seek, a meaningful place within a known group, is rarely fully satisfied. This does not mean you are broken. It means your ancient system is running in a world it was not designed for. What the research consistently shows is that the remedy is not more people. It is depth. One genuine conversation. One person who remembers what matters to you. One relationship where you feel truly seen. Cacioppo found that people who reduced their loneliness did not do it by dramatically expanding their social networks. They did it by deepening 1 or 2 existing connections. Small, consistent acts of genuine attention. That was often enough to turn the alarm off. You are not lonely because something is wrong with you. You are lonely because you are running a 100,000-year-old survival mechanism inside a world that accidentally removed many of the conditions it was built to satisfy. The signal is not a flaw. It is information. It is your brain in the middle of a crowd telling you what it has always needed. Not more faces, not more noise, not more events on a calendar. Something smaller and older and far more necessary than any of that. A single moment where another human being actually sees you, and you see them back. The next time you feel it, in the middle of the party, in the middle of the city, in the middle of the crowd, you will know what it is. You will know it is ancient. You will know it is trying to help. And maybe that will make it just slightly less lonely. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next psychology video. Until then, take care.